live stream and archived shows at KBRFradio.com. Just click on Sports Streaming, the Coaches Show, presented by the Viking Cafe.
It's Morning Talk on News Talk 1250 KBRF, brought to you by Pioneer Care and Fergus Falls Monument Company. Now, here's Mary Dolan and Dave Bishop.
Good Thursday morning. It is 11 after 9 on a beautiful day. It is the 9th of October, and you know what that makes it, Mary?
Gosh, I don't know.
My beautiful wife's birthday.
That's right. Happy birthday, Jen.
So it is Jen's birthday.
Okay,
so
I hope she's got the day off.
no, she's at work.
Okay, she's at work. All right.
So if you are visiting Pioneer Care and you see Jen, say happy birthday.
Say happy birthday. I might have to. I was just up there the other day visiting, not yesterday, but Tuesday. I stopped by to visit all the people that were in my mom's neighborhood, and made a lot of friends while my mom was there. So I was up visiting, and as I walk out, I park in a place where I walk by Jen's office.
Oh, okay.
And I always kind of look and pop my head in there, but I didn't see her in there the other day. So I didn't get a chance to say hello, but God, I'll have to visit again so I can say happy birthday.
Yeah.
All right, well, this is the kind of day it's been for me. I was waiting for a call because I do a phone remote with one of our colleagues in Detroit Lakes every Thursday morning. And I called him, and I was on the phone with him, getting out of my car, and then getting my fob to get into the station, and grabbing my coffee pod, because you got to have that, right?
Yep.
You can't run out. And I just, like always, have too many things in my hands. And I can hear him introducing me, and I fumble, and my phone falls, not only just to the ground, but goes under my car. So I can hear him talking, and I hear the intro. He's about to throw it to me, and I am laying on the tar out here, and I've skinned my knuckles.
Oh.
trying to get under there and get my phone, and I got it to my ear just as he was throwing it to me. So no one the wiser, except I said, "Oh my goodness, sorry about all that banging and clattering, but I just dug my phone out from underneath my car to talk to you." So, good start to the day, huh?
I'll have to tell Dave he needs to listen to the beginning of Morning Talk.
Yeah. Oh my
Dave
goodness.
Lee's one of our favorites up in DL.
He's sure awesome. He sure is. And of all the years I've been talking to, I've met him one time.
Really?
Yeah. And I ran into him by chance. He was doing a remote up by, north of Pelican.
Dunvilla?
Dunvilla, yeah. And he was at that gas station.
Lakeland True Value.
Yeah, and I know he was having a whole bunch of fun there that day. And we stopped by to look at some docks, and I happened to see him, and I'm like, oh my goodness. I just crawled out of bed, put a pair of shorts and a hat on. I thought, the one time I get to meet the guy finally, and I'm looking like I just rolled out of bed, and I did. What
you do need to do is you need to go to the Gobbler up in Frazee.
I know. I keep telling him that, and that's another thing that we're going to do, and I got to make that happen. I'm going to be intentional about that while I'm still at the lake. On a Friday, I can sit, because he's off the air by lunchtime, and he can just zip down Highway 10. I can go over to Frazee from the lake, and we're going to meet for lunch there. So I got to get that done, because he's a good guy.
If you like burgers, the UCB.
UCB, okay, good to know.
Really good. And the meat that they have on there, out of all the places we've done where to eat, and I'm not just saying this because Dave and his family own it, but they've got the best burgers.
Oh, okay.
They get the meat from Ketter's Meat Market.
Okay.
And
right there in Frazee.
Right there in Frazee. And the burger itself, I don't know what they use for the seasoning or what they do, but overall, that burger is the best tasting burger, the meat.
All right.
And so that's
good to know. I see
30-something episodes in, and that's the best one.
Yeah, you get a plate full too.
Yeah.
So that's something we have to do, because if any of you know our friend Dave Lee from KRCQ, he's one of our colleagues, and he's just such a good guy.
I was up there to help out with one of the radio auctions, and it was Dave Lee, me, and then Dave Kitterman.
Okay.
So it was like 3 Daves in one booth. It was like, we called it like the Tri-Dave Network.
Oh my goodness, Triple Dave.
Yep.
Oh, boy.
This auction is so big, one Dave cannot handle it all.
Have to use all 3 days. Well, today, kind of a big day. The announcement comes from President Trump
Yep.
that Israel and Hamas have both signed the first phase of the peace agreement. Now, if you're skeptical old me, I'm thinking, oh boy, do we trust Hamas? I mean,
At least they're trying.
sign away, but yeah, oh, for sure. And I hope it works.
Yeah.
And I hope they can really, get the hostages home. President Trump said that they would be home on Monday, coming out on Monday. So I hope that happens. There are some people, of course, that are elated about that, elated that they can hopefully stop worrying every day that they're going to get shelled and bombed, and to know that maybe this is over. But
I don't think it'll ever be truly over, but at least there'll be a lull.
Right. This is phase 1. So I don't know exactly what that means. I know that it means hostages come out and prisoners get released. But now, will they lay down their arms, and will they have no say in the government, and who will run that? I saw somebody this morning, and I can't even. It was on the Today Show, and I'm not exactly who they were interviewing, but he said likely what will happen is that there will be leadership from other countries that will come in and set up some kind of government, if you will. I don't
Well, like the UN or something.
Kind of, yeah. I don't think that's what he called it, but some kind of leadership group that would be kind of in charge, other than Hamas. So that's kind of the way it's going to go. He said doubtful that there would be any United States, boots on the ground
I'm pretty sure they don't want the U.S. in there.
to make this happen,
And
right?
I'd like to keep the U.S. out of it myself.
Absolutely, we would. And, that's kind of been job number 1 since the start. But President Trump, this is a pretty big deal that he was able to bring the parties together and have them sign at least phase 1. So even if you are skeptical, like many people are, including myself, hey, it's a start, like you said. And I think we have to, be grateful for at least that. Anyway, it was interesting. He was doing something else, President Trump was, and then Marco Rubio came and interrupted him, whispered in his ear, and handed him a piece of paper. And on the piece of paper was, in handwriting, what they were about to post online, and he had to okay it before it went out. So, but pretty big announcement.
Yeah.
And then, of course, now humanitarian aid will flow in.
Yep.
Because they don't have to be scared of being blown up anymore. So that will be great. They have signed, again, the first phase of the peace agreement, ending the 2-year Gaza conflict, which was 2 years just 2 days ago.
Yeah, 2 years, 2 days.
Trump posted on Truth Social that all of the hostages will be released very soon, and Israel will withdraw their troops to an agreed-upon line. Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu called it a great day for Israel. And I'm sure the people who are living in Gaza think it is a great day for the people in Gaza as well. Okay, so remember the big fires in California, Palisade Fire? They nabbed a guy.
They arrested a guy
Who started the fire. 29-year-old, he was an Uber driver, Jonathan Ridkerneck, and he has been charged with arson for starting the Palisades fire that killed 12 people and burned more than 23,000 acres in January. A U.S. Attorney Bill Asaley said that he is a Palisades resident who later moved to Florida, and he used ChatGPT to help plan the fire and was arrested on Tuesday in Orlando. And evidently, people who were riding in his Uber that evening said he appeared to be very agitated. And then he went to some park someplace and they think, used a lighter and lit the fire.
Yep.
Walked away. And then evidently he tried to call 911.
Yeah, he called 911 multiple times, and then he would saw the fire trucks and then loop back to watch everything.
Yeah. And
that's kind of
the
a
sign of a true arsonist.
yeah. A lot of arsonists just light the fire and then just sit back and watch the world burn.
Right. All right. And remember when those guys escaped from the jail in New Orleans?
Yep,
And
get the last one.
Yes. That was a long time ago, May.
Yeah.
And how many? I think there were 5.
5 or 6.
5 that escaped. Anyway, one was still on the lam, but now he is back in custody. 28-year-old Derek Groves was arrested Wednesday in Atlanta after a brief standoff. Tips to Crime Stoppers led them to the Southwest Atlanta home, where Groves was found hiding in a crawl space. Atlanta police used gas canisters and a canine team to locate him. Thankfully, they got him out. Nobody was hurt. Let's see what else is going on. Former FBI Director James Comey, of course, he pleaded not guilty yesterday in federal court in Alexandria, Virginia. The case advanced by President Trump includes 1 count of making a false statement and 1 count of obstruction tied to Comey's 2020 Senate testimony. U.S. District Judge Michael Nachmanoff set the trial for January 5th. So that sounds actually pretty not so far down the road. Usually it's set for, 9 months from now.
3 years we're going to do this.
Yeah, exactly. So anyway, he's going to be on the hot seat January 5th, it looks like. And a Brown County Sheriff's Office canine team found 2 missing 11-year-old children deep in the Hoosier National Forest on Sunday. Deputies said the kids became separated from their mother near Sundance Lake around 5:48 p.m. Officials did not say how long the kids were missing, but credited teamwork for the successful outcome. So great to have that canine team come in, and you can imagine how scared a couple of 11-year-olds were. And let's see, 5:48 p.m., so it would probably be near dark.
Yeah, starting to set.
And so had to be pretty scary. And if you are planning to take your family to Disneyland or Disney World this year, well, get a second job, because it looks like tickets will go up to $199 per person. Then Christmas, any special holiday, it will go to $225 per person. So you got to make some big bucks to take your family to Disneyland or Disney World. Both of them are going to have this. They're not calling it surge pricing, but basically that's what it is. When there is a special holiday, and typically people come, in bigger numbers those days, it's just going to cost you more. So you might want to decide maybe not to go at Christmas, not around any kind of special event, maybe not Easter, maybe pick some random date in January or something. But it's still going to set you back $199 per person. That's awful.
To stand in line.
Yeah, and it's called the happiest place on earth. Now it's probably going to be deemed the most expensive place on earth.
Yeah,
I'm so glad that's all behind me. My kids, grandkids, everybody's been to Disney World. We're good, done, over, and glad that's done.
Yeah, I remember going to Disneyland when I was a kid, and we just stood in line like 2 hours per ride.
Do you know, I actually prefer Disneyland in California over Orlando.
I preferred Knott's Berry Farm.
That was great too.
Because it had pretty much everything else, and
no lines.
No lines.
I know. A lot cheaper too. So I don't know if you might want to do that as an option. And we know that our kids, nothing really takes the place of Disneyland. I don't know. Disney has been in the news for so many not so great things either. And if I was a parent of little kids, I would just hope they'd never heard of Disneyland and wouldn't want to go.
It's impossible.
I know. It is so expensive, and it's kind of like going to a Vikings game or a Timberwolves game or even a Twins game. And I know the Twins have some less expensive tickets, But still, everything you do there, you
Oh, yeah.
park, it's 25, 30, 40 bucks. You know, you go get something to eat, it's $25 per person or more. You know, beer and drinks is super expensive. And I just think all of these venues where families love to come, bring their whole family, and, you know, they just get priced out of being able to do that.
Well, I remember the last time we were at a game and Jen's like, "Oh, are you going to go get a beer?" I'm like, "I'm not going to pay $12 for a beer."
Yeah,
No.
ridiculous.
Absolutely not.
Yep.
I would love to have a beer, but I'm not paying that.
You know, once in a while the Twins have that like package deal. Bring the
Yeah.
family and you get this many hot dogs and drinks and whatever. I wish they would make that more accessible, and I think Disneyland could follow suit, could take a page out of that playbook. All right. Speaking of Disneyland, a woman died there during their Haunted Mansion attraction. We'll tell you about that when we come back on Morning Talk.
Back with more Morning Talk with Mary Dolan and Dave Bishop. Brought to you by Pioneer Care and Fergus Falls Monument Company. After the markets on News Talk 1250 KBRF. Depend on it.
This is Ryan Welly with the Fergus Falls Monument Company. When you're thinking about a memorial for your loved one, I invite you to stop in and see our large selection of memorials on display. The memorial you choose is crafted for you right here locally with an everlasting warranty. That means it's perfect, now and forever, guaranteed. Call or stop into Fergus Falls Monument or visit us online at foreverstonememorials.com. Memorials that matter.
Community is important, and you'll find it at Pioneer Point. Spacious apartments, thoughtfully designed for older adults, provide the best in senior living. Heated parking and elevator access makes life easy. Your neighbors at Pioneer Point hold a welcoming, family-like approach to living. Choosing from an array of special features and options, you'll find many ways to define your lifestyle at Pioneer Point. Call or schedule your tour online today at pioneercare.org.
I'm Derek Sidian with KBRFradio.com News. Join me every Friday at 5 on KBRFradio.com or on the Fergus Now app for the weekly news recap, where I recap this week's hottest local news and you catch up on what you might have missed. From local crime and business news to road construction and car accidents, the weekly news recap keeps you up to date on what you need to know. The KBRF Weekly News Recap is brought to you by Fergus Falls Monument, online at foreverstonememorial.com. Memorials that matter.
It's time to think farm safety.
It takes just 10 seconds to get buried under flowing grain. Every year, grain drownings account for dozens of farm deaths. Please keep kids away from wagons, trucks, and bins while unloading grain. And keep in mind, the most effective teaching is by example.
This farm safety message brought to you by American Federal Bank. Thank you to all of our area farmers. American Federal Bank in Fergus Falls thanks you for your business. Member FDIC, equal housing member.
Huddle up, canola farmers. This is your season to lead the league in yield, and DeKalb is here to back you up, delivering high yield potential, powerful weed control options, and the complete agronomic package, including Straight Cut Plus and Buteo Start for those hard-to-tackle flea beetles. DeKalb is geared up to be your #1 canola seed. Hit the fields with confidence. Talk to your local rep, retailer, or visit cropscience.bayer.us. Always read and follow grain marketing and all other stewardship practices and pesticide label directions. Copyright 2025. Bayer Group. All rights reserved.
KBRFradio.com is your online home for News Talk 1250 KBRF. You'll find the latest in local and national news, plus sports, and you can podcast or stream live. That's at KBRFradio.com.
Find out why the markets are moving. Get in-depth ag information with the Red River Farm Network on News Talk 1250 KBRF. Depend on it.
Good morning. Market update time here on the Red River Farm Network. I'm Tyler Donaldson. Grains markets starting out the day's trade pulling back a bit after Some recent rallies here early in the week. Corn even a penny lower. Soybeans 3 to 5 cents lower. Minneapolis wheat up 4 cents in both of those contracts. Ag Bull trading market analyst Tommy Gersofi says the grains are stuck in a harvest market as traders are pushing gold and silver to new all-time highs.
Soybeans a little quiet. China's nowhere to be found in buying them. No talks. Government shutdown. Even the talk of giving the farmer Trump bucks has been sidelined here. All eyes are on, you watch any business channel or anyone talking, it's all about gold and silver and making new all-time highs. Silver today, gold yesterday, and grains are just stuck in harvest land. Impressed we had any type of rally at all the last few weeks, so definitely giving a little up here onto this Thursday, Friday. Farmers definitely selling some cash grain here.
Cattle markets trading mixed as well. Live cattle a dime lower to 45 cents higher. Feeders, all three contracts for feeders over $1 higher here now to start out the day's trade. Hogs markets 15 to 72 cents lower. Gersofi says cattle markets continuing to push for new contract highs.
Cattle markets doing cattle things, making new all-time highs every day, 24/7. If cattle are open, they're usually up until they're not. And several times this year we've traded limit down, but we consistently recover it. Someday things will change, but it doesn't look like today, but who knows? By the time this is out there in the interweb, maybe they'll be down again.
This is the Red River Farm Network.
North Dakota Farmers Union.
Join North Dakota Farmers Union in celebrating the International Year of Cooperatives, and October is Co-op Month. Co-ops are unique member-owned businesses woven into the fabric of North Dakota. From farmer-owned cooperatives to rural electrics to credit unions and more, cooperatives provide vital services and products to people everywhere. Co-op Month is a great time to stop by your local co-op and say thank you for making our communities a better place to live.
Dakota Farmers Union.
In the heart of every successful farm, trust is the seed that grows the strongest bonds.
At Proceed, we're not just a company, we're a community built on trust and family values.
Our dedicated employees are passionate about supporting local farmers like you.
We know your challenges because we walked the same paths, sowed the same seeds.
We believe in building relationships that go beyond business, relationships grounded in trust and mutual respect.
Because at Proceed, you're not just a customer, you're part of our family.
From the fairgrounds to the classroom, 4-H members are proving they're not just ready for the future, they're beyond ready. This is National 4-H Week, recognizing the hands-on learning and leadership skills gained through the 4-H program. The Red River Farm Network joins with Ag Country Farm Credit Services, Associated Milk Producers Incorporated and its Dinnerville Creamery, and the Minnesota Farm Bureau Federation, all in a salute to 4-H members, alumni, and supporters during this National 4-H Week.
The Red River Farm Network is your go-to source for farm news, markets, and weather. Trust Don Wick, Tyler Donaldson, Jamie Dickerman, and Drew Lerner, delivering the information that impacts your bottom line. We're the Red River Farm Network, and we're reporting agriculture's business.
30 years of reporting agriculture's business. Red River Farm Network.
Checking quotes, December wheat Minneapolis is 4.5 higher to 560. Chicago December wheat's 3.5 higher at 510 3/4. KC December hard red winter wheat's 3/4 cent higher to 494. December corn's even so far, 422. November soybeans 4.5 lower to 1025. In Winnipeg, November canola is $1.70 per metric ton lower at $615.40 Canadian. On the cattle side, October live cattle are up 37 cents to $234.22. October feeders are $1.05 higher, $370.55. October hogs are 15 cents lower, $97.47. Reporting agriculture's business, you're listening to the Red River Farm Network.
If you love trucks, this ad is for you. At Minnesota Motor Company in Fergus Falls, you can save up to $12,000 on select Chevy Silverado trucks, or take advantage of 0% APR for 3 years. Prefer leasing? Lease a Chevy Silverado for as low as $299 per month. Contact the sales team at Minnesota Motor Company for details. Chevy, together, let's drive. South Pebble Lake Road, Fergus Falls.
The four letters that define winning. N-D-S-U.
Fires end zone, touchdown!
The 18th time national champs play here.
The dynasty has come back!
Join us this Saturday as the Bison battle the Southern Illinois Salukis in a Missouri Valley showdown. Our coverage begins at 1:30 on your home for Bison football. The Pioneer Seeds Bison Sports Network from Learfield.
This season, bring the whole family to see Irving Berlin's White Christmas. This smash hit musical based on the classic film returns by popular demand to delight you at Chanhassen dinner theaters. With loads of laughter and a stunning showcase of Irving Berlin songs, White Christmas is a celebration of the romance, friendship, and magic of the holidays. Make your plans today to see White Christmas. Visit chanhassendt.com.
Tire Fest 18. You love it, you want it. The best month to buy tires. At Northwest Tire, value meets the road with unbeatable tire deals. Savings of up to $280 off Bridgestone, $270 off Firestone, and $250 off Nokian and Toyo tires. Great tires, great prices, and great service are just around the corner. Stop by their location today and upgrade your ride with the ideal tires. During Tire Fest 18 at Northwest Tire.
Northwest Tire keeps you rolling down the road. Your projects are experts, job well done. Grant County Lumber and Hardware.
The harvest season means the roads are filled with tractors and combines. Grant County Lumber asks all drivers to slow down, stay alert, and share the road. Patience today means every farmer makes it home tonight.
Your projects are experts, job well done. Grant County Lumber and Hardware.
News Talk 1250 KBRF. Listen anytime, any place with the Fergus Now app on your phone. 937 Morning Talk brought to you this morning and every morning by our good friends over at Fergus Monument and Pioneer Care.
All right. You know, something came up on my Facebook feed during the break, which I don't think we ever talked about. The city council had voted, I believe, on Monday. About the cannabis licensing.
Yep.
And so they awarded it to one company. Is that how?
Two.
Two, okay. Anyway, I see that there are some people, of course, that are upset.
Not happy.
Not happy. Not happy that Sugar High.
Yep.
Their application was denied, and now they are going to close, I believe, at the end of this month.
Yep.
Anyway, I see that there is a Survey Monkey survey that is out there on Facebook, and it asks these questions. How familiar are you with the City Council's recent decision to deny a cannabis license to the established community business Sugar High Cannabis Consulting and Dispensary? Second question is, do you believe the City Council's decision aligns with their stated focus on supporting local business? Number 3, what impact do you think this decision will have on the local community? And number 4, what reasons do you believe might have influenced the City Council's decision?
And for something like that, we can go to the newsroom.
Yeah, and I thought it was interesting, under what reasons do you believe might have influenced the City Council's decision? And they say to select all that apply, and they include regulatory concerns, public safety, economic factors, political pressure, community opposition, personal bias, or other. And then the 5th question is, how important do you think it is for the City Council to support established local business?
There's a lot. I guess we'll get Derek in here. There's a lot of stuff that I won't say on the air that was kind of whispered behind the scenes. And
yeah, I have not followed it at all, but I thought it was interesting that once there was a decision that now there is this survey floating around on Facebook, and I'm guessing a lot of people will probably fill this out. There were a couple of more questions. There are 7 questions total. So
yeah, I have not looked at the survey myself. The Daily Journal actually put it together, put it out. They've been the one sharing it.
Okay.
Yeah, because they sort of did their we broke it down into 2 news stories, one about the businesses that were accepted, and then one that talked a little bit more about Sugar High's response and that they were closing, and they just did the one initially, and then they started bringing out the survey. But in all of, I've been looking at all the different stories, both ours and the Journal's comment sections, and there are a lot of people who are very upset with this decision and think that it is very personally biased. Just as someone who's like watched these council meetings, since I started here, really watching these council meetings and watching the different business owners interact with the city council and how that's been going down, it doesn't surprise me that a lot of people feel that it is personally biased.
I was just going to ask you, did you kind of see this coming, would you say?
Yeah, I have to say that I initially, when I was watching the meeting, I was initially shocked, but that only lasted a second. I'm like, no, it does make sense in my mind. With sort of the tensions between some of the city council members and owner of Sugar High, Emily McCune, in regards to her advocating to destigmatize cannabis and advocating for her business. She was very, very strong in advocation. It didn't really, never really filtered either. I think some people took a little bit more of a, I don't know, what word, Dave, do you think?
They took a little bit more politically savvy approach to it, and she just was a little unfiltered and it didn't pull her punches. I mean, good for her. I mean, sometimes you need to speak out.
So sometimes you just need to say it like it is.
And
but that has been going on for some time, correct?
Yeah. And there's been some things that some of the council members have said that, you know, she called out, and in a lot of cases rightfully so. Like they were stereotyping people who consume cannabis. During one of the meetings in particular that I'm thinking about, and she immediately called it out, and it was things like that when it came down to it, they only wanted to give out 2 licenses.
So they voted on the first 2 that came up. Everything was alphabetical.
Yep. And so they voted. What I saw when I first watched it, now I don't know if this is exactly what happened, for someone who's watching it, who's been watching it for so long, they did one of the local businesses that was downtown because people have been very upset about that initially they did not want cannabis zoned in downtown at all. But eventually they came up with some different things, interim use permits, all sorts of weird city zoning stuff. But eventually
what would you say was the holdup, or what was the concern of having it in the downtown?
They're worried about businesses and the interactions with that. They're worried about smell.
Yeah.
They had a whole laundry list of stuff.
Yeah, well, I know that I've heard from other people that they were worried about, the hours that potentially would be open, and some of the interactions that could potentially happen by people coming in and out, and I don't know.
Yeah.
It's been an ongoing battle, that's for sure.
It's been an ongoing battle, and a lot of the city council members have had a lot of concerns. A lot of them have been addressed with various ordinances and things like that. But at the end of the day, I think they had one of the local ones that was in downtown, but then they had a proposal for the other one that received a license, and they are proposing to build in the little part of the parcel behind the municipal liquor store. So that is
kind of between the Fergus Liquors and Subway. There's that open lot.
Gotcha.
Yeah, okay. I believe I could be incorrect on this, but I believe it is currently owned by the city of Fergus Falls.
City of Fergus Falls does own that. I have that confirmed.
So I hate to say, something
if you're going to buy
but
our land, we'll give you the license. Is that what you're
well,
hinting at?
It's that it was in the area, and it financially benefits the city by making that sale.
Well, and
'Cause that area is not-
there's
that's
nothing
not
wrong
being
with that.
used.
Yeah.
And again, it was the first two alphabetically that they voted yes on. Everybody else has said no.
Yeah.
So there were more than 3.
There
up
were 6.
For, okay.
There were 6.
Okay.
And the other 3 that had applied didn't even get resolutions. I will put that out there as well. So the other 3 that were looking for it, none of the council, when they were like, do we have a resolution? None of the council members spoke up.
Yeah, do we have a motion? Do we have a second?
Okay. What do you guys think about having a dispensary? I mean, will it be a dispensary downtown?
Yep.
Yep. Elevate will be a dispensary downtown,
Okay.
and then we'll have the one here
By the liquor
nearby
store.
by the liquor store. It's one of those things where it's
It's mandated by the state of
mandated by the
Minnesota.
state. So regardless on your opinions of cannabis, like it's going to be happening, and the city needed to issue 2 licenses.
They had to? They were
Yep.
forced to?
Yeah.
Yes.
Really?
By Minnesota state law.
Of course, Minnesota. Thank you.
They could give as many as they wanted, but they stuck to the mandated minimum, which was 2. And yeah,
It'll be interesting to see how that goes.
I've seen a lot of people talking about, maybe Sugar High should try and appeal or potentially go and
My guess is
try to get a
she's-
court judgment.
yeah.
But I think Emily.
That's expensive, and my guess is she's had enough.
Yeah, I think Emily's had enough. She's been trying to work on her pastry business as well. So I think it was just, okay, we fought, we didn't get it.
Yeah,
It's
I'm
just,
out.
we're done.
Yeah, okay.
I feel
All right.
for her because, I mean, she works so hard.
Yeah.
Well, anyway, I hadn't followed that very closely, but when I just saw that
Oh, yeah.
survey, and now I do see that it did originally, it was put together by the Daily Journal. So if you are so inclined to fill out that survey, you can do a search on Facebook on the Daily Journal site, and I'm sure that's where you'll find it. And lots of people are sharing it, so I guarantee it won't take long for you to find that in your Facebook feed. Okay, I was going to tell you about this is not a great story, but a woman in her 60s passed away on Monday. She experienced a medical emergency following her ride on Disneyland's Haunted Mansion attraction.
Dun, dun, dun.
Yikes. Guests became unresponsive immediately after exiting the ride, which currently features the Nightmare Before Christmas theming. Disneyland security administered CPR before paramedics transported her to a hospital where she was pronounced dead. No indication of any operating issue with the attraction, which reopened soon after. The Haunted Mansion, which opened way back in 1969, is described as a slow-moving attraction suitable for young kids on the Disney website. So
I've been on that ride.
Yeah, I have too. So it appears that it was just a medical emergency, but
Yeah, you just go down a little elevator to start things off, and then you get on a little ride, and it's just slow, and it's got like mirrors and stuff, and it makes it look like there's ghosts behind you and stuff. I mean, it's
I
it's
do
a pretty
remember.
tame ride.
I think it is a pretty tame ride, so it didn't like scare her to death or anything like that. What do you think about this? There's a survey out there that many adults lack basic life skills. Now, when I take a look at the list, I can say that in my house, we fall into some of these things.
Uh-oh.
Like appliance repair. We don't do too much appliance repair.
No,
If
I will
it's-
pay somebody to fix my
Yep.
stuff because they know what they're doing.
Yeah, like this morning, all of a sudden I was taking the garbage out from underneath the kitchen sink, and I saw like a quarter of an inch of water across the bottom, and I'm like, and I could see that one of the bends in the pipe that it had come kind of undone, and I was unable to tighten it. So did I screw around with that anymore? Nope, just called the plumber. You come, take care of it.
No, I could do that.
Well, I guess I don't know. And I know that when we had a new sink put in just a couple of months ago, and
that'd do
he did say, there's one little area that I'm a little concerned about, so just keep your eye on it. And I did, and
there's water.
Yeah, and so he'll be good enough to come back, I'm sure. Anyway, so other things, 30% of the people that they talk to don't know how to file taxes. That's why you hire somebody.
Exactly. That is one thing I will not screw around with.
Nope, me neither. Nope.
If it involves the government, Here you go. Please, person who know what you're doing, do it, please.
23% said that they can't handle a basic contract.
I can do that. I deal with contracts all the time.
Yeah. 20% struggle with furniture assembly. Noted.
I can do that.
Can you? You know, I probably could. I put together, remember that they was called the Cozy Coupe, those little cars that we got for our kids when they were little, those Fisher Price. Oh my goodness, I just about tore my hair out by the end of that. And finally I turned it over to John. I said, you put these wheels on. I've had enough. I'm not very good at that because I've got zero patience, and you need patience to put together stuff that comes in a very small box. And that is why IKEA is out of the mix for me, because it's like giving you a box of sticks and screws and then...
Here, you figure this out.
Okay. Oh boy, this is bad. Among Gen Z, about little more than half still depend on their parents for bills, including their mobile phone, their rent. Oh my goodness.
The rent?
Yeah. Surprisingly, 24% of Gen Z didn't realize electricity bills required payment.
I believe it.
And get this, 31% thought water was free.
Yep.
Have they not looked at their city bill ever?
Our rock star child, when he went off to college, we got him an apartment, and his landlord called and said, "Hey, Luke hasn't paid rent yet." And so we called Luke and like, "Luke, what's going on?" And he goes, "Wait, that's due every month?"
Don't you want to go knock, knock, Puddinhead?
Yeah, we were just like, whoa, that's becoming a long-running joke now.
Oh, boy.
As a resident member of Gen Z here, I will say that there are a lot of places, and I think a lot of people get apartments, because remember, a lot of Gen Z don't own homes.
Right.
They rent out apartments.
Yep.
There are a lot of apartments that will just wrap all of that into their rent.
Okay, so
they'll just make one large payment.
Okay, so
and then
they just think that goes forward when you buy a home. You don't have to pay for all that stuff.
Well, they might not have been exposed to the utility bills.
Yeah. So
boy, I kind of think by that age you should know that if you move into a house, you're gonna have some bills. You're gonna have to pay for the lights and the water, garbage.
It's reality that just crashes down on them.
Kind of feel like maybe we need to go back to home ec class, and
there needs to be a life skills class.
Yeah, I totally agree. Anyway, 58% said they wish that they had learned mortgage applications in school. That's hard too. I mean, there are a lot of things that
mortgage applications.
Oh gosh, that's the worst, isn't it? Anyway, but those are some of those are pretty basic.
Some are pretty basic, and some of them are pretty advanced. I mean.
Well, and some of them, I'm here to tell you,
taxes,
I don't put, for sure.
One thing I've said for a long time, being more recently growing up in the school system, there are a lot of basic life skills that you don't learn at school, and I think a lot of parents haven't properly taught their kids.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I think that is a good thing to teach your kids how to use the tools in the toolbox. How do you, and maybe when you did repairs under the sink, you can have your kids come and watch you. Here's what happened. Here's how you fix it.
They can hold the flashlight and hand you the wrong size wrench.
Yeah, exactly.
One thing my mom did when, I don't remember if she did it right when I started getting my having to fill out my taxes, or if she started a year before, but she went through it with me and be like, hey, this is how you can do your taxes, this. And that's just one of those skills that that I think there's a lot of people who don't really learn how to do.
No, I think you're right. That's why I pay somebody to do it, because I don't want the IRS coming after me. If they go after anyone, they can go after my tax preparer. Oh, boy. Okay, so...
But just remember, you signed that it was correct.
Okay, well, so they're coming after me.
They're
all right,
coming after you.
If I don't come to work one day, you know where to find me, okay? In prison someplace. All right, I love this story. We'll wrap up with this one today. Francine, the beloved mascot at a Richmond, Virginia Lowe's store, has returned home after accidentally stowing away on a truck to North Carolina in mid-September. The former stray became the West Broad Street location's unofficial mascot 8 years ago and kind of a local celebrity among employees and customers. Workers discovered that Francine had traveled 85 miles to the Garysburg Distribution Center when she went missing. Thermal drone teams and workers searched the facility until security cameras spotted her on October 4th. Store manager Mike Sita said, "I can't describe the feeling when we realized it was her. We all just lit up." Humane traps captured Francine before midnight on Sunday. When Sita and associate Wayne Schneider retrieved her on Monday, said she looked at us and gave a big meow like, "What in the world took you guys so long?" So anyway, Francine is back at Lowe's in Richmond, Virginia. So
That's cute.
All is well. All right, coming up on 10 o'clock, that is going to wrap up another week. Thanks for joining us. Our show today and every day is brought to us by Pioneer Care and by Fergus Monument Company. Have a great weekend.